Hi, everybody, and welcome back to this 7 homecomings practice. Thank you for choosing to take part in it this evening or whenever you're choosing to practice today. I'd like to give my thanks to Lama Rod Owens for the inspiration and leadership in developing the 7 homecomings practice, and also to wonderful poet Rosemerry Whatolla Trommer, whose poem will conclude the practice. The invitation, as it always is as we begin a practice, is to come into a posture that will support you for the next 20 or 25 minutes, choosing whether to sit, stand, perhaps lie down. You are the expert in your own body, and really encouraging you to choose a posture that's going to support you, going to give you the least discomfort. Remembering also to use pillows, blankets, to feel comfortable, relaxed, but not sleepy. The invitation is to fall into wakefulness. The 7 homecomings meditation is a contemplation practice. The invitation from Lama Rod Owens is to let the language and the process of the practice change to meet your needs. What is being offered is simply guidance. Allowing yourself to be creative with the practice is an important part of it. It helps you to sustain the practice. We start as always by arriving and settling our feet. Perhaps if we're sitting firmly on the floor, or if we're lying down, awareness of those body sensations where the body is supported by the bed or the floor. Allowing everything that is here for you in this moment just to be here. No need to resist or push back on anything. Simply acknowledging and letting be. Choosing perhaps an anchor, a safe haven to return to whenever you might need this throughout the practice. Perhaps your anchor might be your feet. Perhaps if you're sitting, your sit bones, or the small of the back if you're lying down. Perhaps your hands, your shoulders, wherever sensations in the body are strongest for you. Choosing an anchor, exploring the sensations. And then when you're ready, allowing the focus of your attention to become aware of sensations in the feet, in the sit bones, the small of your back perhaps, the hands, or another part of the body where sensations are strong. Remembering also that you can choose to open your eyes if your eyes are closed, or come out of the practice at any time. Any time you may feel that you wish to open your eyes, please do. And then when you're ready, you can reconnect with the practice. And so, when you're ready, and only when you're ready, moving the focus of your attention to awareness of breath in the body. And if the breath is not available to you in this moment, choosing perhaps your anchor or another part of the body where sensations are stronger. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. And the invitation now is to shift the focus of your attention to the first homecoming, the first of the 7 homecomings, and that's to the guide. Perhaps reflecting on any being who's been a guide for you, a teacher, perhaps a mentor, an advisor, or an elder. Reflecting on the beings in your life whom you've gone to for guidance and support. Reflecting on the beings who express love and compassion to you and for you. If you can imagine that you're inviting all those beings into this space with you, into a circle of support and safety around you. And say welcome to your guides. Sitting with your guides, the focus of your attention, relax, inhale, exhale, and come home to being held by your guides. Our second homecoming is to our wisdom texts. You can begin this part of the practice by reflecting on perhaps a text that has helped you to deepen your wisdom. These texts can include any writing, books, teachings, perhaps sacred texts, quotes, or perhaps social media memes, or any form of artistic expression like music, dance, visual art, whatever comes to mind for you as your wisdom text. Any texts that have helped you to experience clarity, openness, love and compassion, these are your sacred texts. Invite the essence of these texts into this space. You can imagine that these texts are actually present, or you can have a sense that their essence is encircling you with your guides in that circle of safety and support. Say welcome to your texts. Relax, inhale, exhale, and come home to being held by your wisdom texts. Our third homecoming is to community. Perhaps beginning this part of the practice by reflecting about the communities, groups, and spaces where you experience love or the feeling of being accepted and supported in being happy. Moreover, what are the communities and groups, not only where you feel loved, but also where you feel as if you can love and return love back to others? Where do you feel safe to love? Where are you being loved? Invite those communities and groups into the space around you with your guides and your wisdom texts. And if you don't feel that there's a space like that for you, then you can invite the aspiration to be part of a loving space into this space as well. Say welcome to your communities, allowing them to be here alongside our guides and our wisdom texts in our circle of safety and support. Relax, inhale, exhale, and come home to being held by your communities. Our fourth homecoming is to our ancestors and lineages. Begin by reflecting on those ancestors who have wanted the best for you, including wanting you to be happy and safe. You don't need to know who these ancestors are. All you have to do is contemplate that there have been those in your familial line, whether that's a biological or logical familial line, who want you to be happy. Invite those beings into the circle as well. This can be a challenging homecoming for some people. And the invitation is to explore your ancestors and lineages as widely as possible. Those who you believe are part of your ancestry and your lineage. Also, perhaps reflecting on those lineages you feel connected to, like the lineage of your spiritual tradition or tradition of activism or art. Invite your lineage into the circle as well. Remembering also that you too are in the process of becoming an ancestor. As you invite your lineage, remember that you're a lineage holder. Say welcome to your ancestors and lineages and allow them to join your circle of safety and support. Relax, inhale, exhale, and come home to being held by your ancestors and lineages. Our fifth homecoming is to the earth. Perhaps beginning by reflecting on the importance of the earth under you and how it sustains your life and the lives of countless beings. Reflect on the energy of the earth, which is the energy of sustainability, stability, and foundations. The earth represents the ground of your experience. So coming home to the earth means touching the earth, acknowledging the earth, surrendering to the earth, and allowing it to hold you. And as it holds you, understanding that it is loving you as well. Invite the energy of the earth into your circle, saying welcome to the earth. Relax. Inhale. Exhale. And come home to being held by the earth. The sixth homecoming is to the silence. Perhaps beginning by reflecting on the generosity of silence as something that helps you to have the space to be with yourself. Reflect on how important it is to lean into silence, allowing it to hold you, and reflect on how you can embrace silence as a dear friend or a lover invested in your health and well-being. Silence helps you to understand how to use your language to benefit yourself and others. Allow the silence to be present and accept it. Invite silence into the circle, saying welcome to the silence. Relax. Inhale, exhale, and come home to being held by the silence. Our seventh and final homecoming in this practice is to yourself. Begin by reflecting on your experiences of your mind and body. Consider how your experiences are valuable, important, crucial. Invite all the parts of yourself into your awareness, including the parts of yourself that can seem too ugly, perhaps overwhelming, uncomfortable. Everything is welcome. Embracing yourself as a homecoming means you can make sure that you're showing up to being held by the other homecomings, allowing yourself to be present along with our 6 other homecomings. Accept that you are present. saying welcome to yourself, letting yourself join our circle of safety and support with our other homecomings. Relax, inhale, exhale, and come home to yourself. And now, embracing all of your homecomings, you can see your guides, communities, and ancestors as your benefactors. You draw inspiration to be open and be more vulnerable from your wisdom texts. You remember the earth is under your feet and that there is silence offering you the space to be with yourself. And finally, there is yourself being held within this circle of care and support. Guides, communities, ancestors, wisdom texts, the earth, the silence, yourself. Just sitting in this circle and imagining that your benefactors are sending care and kindness directly to you. Try to feel that care in any way that feels appropriate, allowing it into the heart space, breathing perhaps into the heart space as we allow that kindness and love to come from our circle of safety and support. What does that care feel like? Just sit and connect to the care from your benefactors. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Resting your mind and relax as we imagine that our circle of benefactors, our 7 homecomings, begin to dissolve into white light or fade slowly into the background, and gather that sense of kindness, love, and support from our homecomings into our heart centre, resting, relaxing, breathing in, breathing out. And to conclude our practice together just now, I'm going to read a poem, Stitching It Together, by Rosemerry Whatolla Trommer. Stitching it together. Today I gather the morning light as it angles gold across the lawn. I gather the scent of fennel fronds in the garden and the surprising sweetness of the one-bite strawberries and the softness of the shawl I thought was lost, but today I found. I gather the weight of my daughter as she leans into me on the couch, and the smooth burn of rye whiskey, and the purr of the cat as she naps deeper into my lap, and I stitch them together with the thread of my attention. Long ago, I learned what I focus on creates me. Not that I ignore the bindweed, the news, the drought, the young raccoon dead beside the road. I do not turn away from the stories that make me weep. I am willing to be ferocious, to stand up for what I know is true. But I study what is beautiful, what is generous. I offer it my devotion. Even in this moment, writing this poem, I stitch in the pauses and the stumblings. These too are beautiful because they are true. I stitch in the pure potential that steeps in uncertainty. I stitch in silence. I stitch in hope. Thank you so much for taking part in this 7 homecomings practice, in stitching those 7 homecomings together to form a circle of safety, support, love, and kindness for yourself. Slowly and gently, gently when you're ready, preparing to let go of the practice for now. Perhaps opening your eyes if your eyes have been closed. Taking in the shapes and colours in the space that you're in. Perhaps moving, taking a drink, preparing to take with you those parts of this practice that will be helpful to you the rest of the day and the week. And thank you so much for choosing to practice with me. Namaste.